Chapter 12. A Village Without Dawn. The path narrowed as they traveled deeper into the shadow wilds. What had once been a forest of towering, jagged trees slowly softened into low groves of pale, luminescent growths that glowed faintly like embers buried under ash. The ground here was smoother, worn by countless footsteps rather than claw or root. Elara noticed the change immediately. "It feels quieter," she said. Kaelen nodded. "We are close." "Close to what?" "My people." The words landed heavier than she expected. She had spent her entire life hearing stories of the world below, whispered warnings of shadow beasts and cursed lands. Never once had anyone spoken of villages, of people. They crested a low ridge and the settlement revealed itself. Small dwellings carved from dark stone and twisted wood clustered around a wide clearing. Soft blue lanterns hung from branches, casting gentle pools of lights that flickered like distant stars. Thin streams of silvery water wound between homes, reflecting the dim sky above. Children ran across the clearing, their laughter bright and startling against the quiet world. Elara stopped walking. She searched for the right word. Normal. Kaelen glanced at her. "What did you expect?" She hesitated. "Monsters." A faint smile tugged at his mouth. So did they. As they entered the village, conversations hushed, eyes turned toward them, curious, wary, some openly fearful. Not of Kaelen, of her. Elara felt the weight of their gazes like a physical pressure. Instinctively, she dimmed the faint glow that always lingered beneath her skin. A woman stepped forward, her hair streaked with silver, eyes sharp with quiet authority. "My king," she said, bowing her head slightly. Kaelen inclined his head in return. "Erindra." Her gaze shifted to Elara, lingering on the chain between their wrists. "So it is true. The sky has sent one of its guilders." Elara straightened. "I came to find the anchor." Murmurs rippled through the gathered villagers. Erindra studied her for a long moment. "And what will you do when you find it?" "Stop it," Elara said without hesitation, "before it pulls my fitty down." A shadow crossed Erindra's face, too quick for Elara to fully read. "We shall speak of such things later. You are guests, for now." Kaelen led Elara through the village. She noticed the subtle differences everywhere. Tools fashioned from bone and stone, woven fabrics that shimmered faintly like spider silk, gardens filled with strange plants whose leaves emitted soft glows instead of relying on sunlight. At the center of the settlement stood a large structure shaped like a low dome, its surface etched with intricate patterns that seemed to shift when viewed from different angles. "Your hall?" Elara asked. "Our refuge," Kaelen said. Inside, warmth greeted them. Low fires burned in carved basins, and cushions lined the circular walls. The air smelled faintly of herbs and something sweet she couldn't name. Erindra entered behind them, carrying 2 cups of steaming liquid. "You will drink," she said, handing one to Elara. "Travel through fractured lands leaves echoes in the body." Elara accepted it cautiously. The liquid tasted earthy but soothing, warmth spreading through her limbs. "You care for them," Elara said quietly to Kaelen. He looked around the hall. "They are my responsibility." A child peeked through the doorway, eyes wide with curiosity. When Kaelen noticed, he crouched and beckoned gently. The child approached, clutching a small carved figure. "Did you bring back stories?" the child asked. Kaelen's voice softened. "Always." Elara watched the exchange, something shifting inside her. This was not the tyrant of sky-born tales. This was a protector. Later, as evening deepened into the perpetual twilight of the Shadow Wilds, Irindra led Elara to the edge of the village. "Look," she said quietly. Elara followed her gaze. Beyond the settlement, the land stretched outward, rolling fields dotted with faintly glowing growths. But in the distance, she saw something strange. The ground looked drained. Colors faded into dull gray, vegetation sparse and brittle. "What happened there?" Elara asked. Irindra's expression grew solemn. "Each season, the fading spreads. The earth grows weaker." Elara frowned. "A blight?" "In a manner of speaking." Irendra's eyes lifted toward the sky, toward the unseen city floating far above. "Elara of Aethelgard, tell me," she said softly, "does your city still burn bright?" "Of course," Elara said. "The light gilding is stronger than ever." Irindra nodded slowly, as though confirming a long-held suspicion. "That brightness," she said, "comes from somewhere." A chill creeped down Elara's spine. "What are you saying?" Irindra met her gaze. "We believe the sky has been drawing more than light." The words hung in the air, heavy with implication. Elara shook her head instinctively. "That's impossible. Our magic is self-sustaining." Irindra did not argue. Instead, she gestured toward the distant gray lands. "Walk there tomorrow," she said gently. "Listen to the soil. Sometimes truth is easier to hear than to accept." Elara stood in silence, the weight of doubt pressing against her certainty. Behind her, she sensed Kaelen's presence, quiet but steady. "Rest tonight," he said softly. "There will be much to see." As Elara returned to the hall, the chain between them glowed faintly, steady, patient. For the first time since leaving the sky, she felt something she had not expected. Not fear, uncertainty, and somewhere beneath it, the first fragile crack in everything she thought she knew.